Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's discussion is going to be on the circumstances requiring revision in terms, and this is the last discussion on Essay 210. This is part number 7, with which we'll be completing Essay 210. So guys, what are the circumstances occurring which require revision in terms of audit engagement? So guys, first one is misunderstanding in the object and scope of audit. If the scope of audit is something which requires you to cover the aspects of auditing. So if there's some misunderstanding in that, the auditor thinks that this is also covered in the scope of audit, and the management is imposing limitations on the scope of audit, and there might be a misunderstanding between the auditor and client because of this. So these kind of misunderstandings in between the entity, the client, and the auditor, client or the entity and the auditor, if they have some misunderstandings based on this objective and scope of audit, then you might be requiring to make some revision and change of terms of audit engagement. Second case is you have done audit for them for a term. Okay, now 1 year you have done it. In the case of recurring audit, next year before starting off, in the beginning itself you feel that there are some special terms of engagement which you can revise or add to the existing terms. So second case is what? Revision or revising or adding some special terms of engagement. Okay, simple. Third is change in the following. In third, you'll have more 6 points. So this thing totally has 8 points. The first point is misunderstanding objective and scope of audit between the entity and the auditor. Okay. Second is revising or adding some special terms of engagement. Third is change of the following. In that you have 6 points. So what are the changes? Change in senior management. Any recent change in senior management? Within the last year, there's some change in senior management, the key management people in the top, the senior management. There's some recent change, then you are required to revise the terms. Okay, because of that you might be requiring to change the terms of audit engagement. Second is the ownership of the organization has totally changed. This organization which you are auditing for might have been acquired by some other organization. So there's a significant change in the ownership of the entity or the client you're doing audit for. So because of that, you might be required to change or require some changes in revision in terms of engagement. Third one is significant change in the nature or size of business entity. Size means what? It was a small scale firm, it became a medium sized firm. The operations it was involving was of a small scale, the turnover limits were lesser. But now it is expanding and it's moving from a small scale to mid size, from mid size to large size. So size of the organization is increasing. Nature of work, the entity's business is simply, it was earlier dealing with say in some other items, now it's going to deal into FMCGs like ITC. So it's slowly adapted from tobacco, it went to FMCG goods and so on. So it started to expand its business horizontally as well as vertically. Okay, so it started to invest in, like MRF has tires, you have MRF bat, so you can get it right. You have lots of different kind of things MRF does, not just tires. But I think better example could be Tata. Tata is involved in FMCG, in steel. So there's a lot of things Tata covers, right? So something like that. So there's a significant change in the nature of the entity's business or the size of the entity's business. Change in the legal or regulatory requirements. As per company audit or the company law, you have some legal requirements as an auditor to have a look at. Now there can be some changes or some additional changes or some additional laws or provisions or cases being added, because of which the results might be that there's some change in law, some requirement. Okay, some additional requirements are now further required. In such a case, you can again this can lead to a revision and change of terms. Okay, first one is change in senior management, significant change in ownership, significant change in the nature of entity's business, and the change in legal regulatory requirements. Last 2 points. Now the management had adopted a certain FRF, that is financial reporting framework, say AS, accounting standards, earlier. So the last time you did audit, you did with accounting standards. Now it is required to change that AS, accounting standards, to Ind AS. You have to follow Ind AS now. So the change in FRF adopted in the preparation of FS happens. So when this change happens, you might be required to change make some changes in the revise the changes in terms of engagement. Last one is change in other reporting requirements. There are certain other reporting requirements, there might be some change in that. So simply speaking, there are 8 points. In the 8 points, you can say 3 categories, and the third category you have 6 points. Okay. So circumstances revising the change in revision of terms is what? There are 8 points. First point is what? Indication that you're getting that the entity will misunderstands the objective and scope of audit. There's a misunderstanding between the auditor and the entity regarding the objective and scope of audit. Second point, you want to add or revise us, add some special terms of engagement. Second point. Third point, change in the following. There are 6 points in this third point. So what is it? Recent change in management, senior management. Significant change in ownership. Significant change in the nature or size of the entity's business. Change in the regulatory requirements, other regulatory requirements, or change in the other regulatory requirements or reporting requirements. And the last point is change in FRF adopted for the preparation of financial statements. From AS you're moving to Ind AS. So this was the discussion on circumstances requiring revision in terms. So where did we learn this in the previous thing? During the course of audit, we had discussed over here recording new terms of audit engagement. Remember? So there we had discussed it. We had discussed it over there firstly. Then we had discussed it in the recurring audit also, send new engagement letter. So I said it will be covered in the last part of essay 210, which we have covered now. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please do like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please do leave your comments in the comment section below so I can know your feedback, and keep supporting me. Please do like, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and do leave your comments because it's really helpful for me to know if you have liked the video or not. Thank you so much guys. Signing off, Aryan Shal. Bye.